To answer this question, it's actually neither of them. No, Christmas is not pagan, and no, modern day Xmas is not Christian. It's something else. It goes way deeper than this, but I'll try to explain the origins of Xmas in this short video. First off, who is Santa? Or who is Santa hiding? Well, it's definitely not Odin, the Norse god, it's definitely not a deified version of Nimrod, and it's definitely not an anagram of Satan. I mean, it could be, but I doubt it. It's actually Saint Nicholas, or Saint Nicholas of Myra, a real historical person who lived in both the Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire. His reputation of secret gift giving gave rise to the folklore of Santa Claus through Sinterklaas, which then turned into Father Christmas and now modern day Santa Claus. During the Byzantine Empire, Saint Nicholas was one of the most revered saints. The Emperor Justinian I the Great renovated multiple churches in Constantinople, dedicated to Saint Nicholas and Saint Priscus. His feast day, December 6th, which is also when he died, was also observed during that period of time. One theory that I have is that Saint Nicholas was one of the 144,000 resurrected saints who reigned during the millennial reign of Christ, which might have been the Byzantine Empire. But hey, that's just a theory, so I'm not really sure about that. I'm gonna have to research more on that. So yeah, after 1,000 years, the Byzantine Empire, or Millennial Kingdom, fell in 1453 to the Ottomans, and shortly after, the Renaissance began, where we would see a lot of cultural changes. Like for example, in the 16th century, Saint Nicholas was transitioned into Sinterklaas, a man with a long white beard wearing a red mitre. Instead of celebrating Saint Nicholas' feast day, the people celebrated Sinterklaas feast, where they would help the poor by putting money in their shoes, and host a wild feast that led to costumes, a topsy-turvy overturning of daily roles, and mass public drunkenness. I don't know, man. Doesn't sound Christian to me. The tradition remained the same until the early 19th century, when we would see how the modern-day Santa Claus came to be. This is also, coincidentally, right after the modern times, after the Declaration of Independence in 1776. In 1823, Clement Clark Moore wrote a visit from St. Nicholas, which would then be referred to "'Twas the Night Before Christmas", which is the first line of the poem. The poem is largely responsible for the modern archetype of Santa Claus. To summarize the plot, it's St. Nicholas flying in a sleigh pulled by 8 reindeer. He lands on top of a house, goes down the chimney, and fills the stockings with toys. And then he just dips. Other works of literature similar to A Visit from St. Nicholas include A Christmas Carol, 1843 by Charles Dickens, who, well, he was not a Freemason, but his writings have a subtle correlation to Freemasonry. Christmas Elves, 1856 by Louisa May Alcott. Although this book was never published, it was the first representation of Santa's elves. The Wonders of Santa Claus, 1857 by Harper's Bazaar. The Workshop of Santa Claus, 1873 by Godey's Lady's Book. The House of Santa Claus, A Christmas Fairy Show for Sunday Schools, 1876 by Austin Thompson. Could all of these books perhaps have been an attempt to pervert and hide a real historical person? Could this perhaps be an attempt to turn Saint Nicholas into a mythological creature? In 1870, the United States declared Christmas, December 25th, as a federal holiday, just 5 years after the Civil War. Well, why didn't they do it in the first place? Couldn't they have declared Christmas as a holiday at the start of the country? It's the birth of God, after all. Why do all this social engineering of Santa Claus for nearly 100 years and then declare Christmas as a holiday? This is weird. But anyway, this was when Christmas started to become like the modern Xmas that we see today. Thomas Nast, illustrator of the Harper's Weekly magazine, illustrated 33 different illustrations of Santa Claus and was the one who popularized the idea of Santa Claus residing in the North Pole. Norman Rockwell, a famous illustrator of the Saturday Evening Post in the 20th century, who was a Freemason by the way, he drew various sketches of the modern-day Santa Claus. He's famous for drawing this particular picture of a girl with a black eye. I'm gonna be real, this looks frightening and weird. In the 1930s, Coca-Cola partnered with artist Haddon Sundblom to further solidify the modern image of Santa Claus. Here are some sus pictures of Santa Claus. This is an advertisement for wine targeted to Masons. This one's way worse. Oh, would you look at that? 666, what a surprise. And to top it all off, what do people say during the time of Christmas and New Year? Season's greetings. Little seasons. Nah, I'm just playing. It's just me being schizo. But what if? What if they're trying to replace and pervert a real saint who existed into a mythological character? But anyway, to conclude, should you celebrate Christmas? Duh, yeah, it's the birth of Jesus. Should you celebrate St. Nicholas' feast day? Yeah, if you want, you can. Should you celebrate the Masonic Xmas? No. While Santa Claus is often seen as a joyful and generous figure embraced by many people, his lore is steeped in darker, more sinister tales that reveal a surprisingly complex and eerie side to this beloved character. Thanks for watching.